Try the new Dunked All-Star Box for only 8.90 Kenyan shillings. Hope you're ready for the new star of the show. KFC, it's finger-licking good while stocks last.
Enjoy all-in-one payment solutions for your business with Network. Accept multiple payment methods and process all your business transactions on one device. Whether it's M-Pesa, Airtel Money, Visa, MasterCard, Apple Pay, or Google Pay. Network does it all. It's faster, it's better, it's smarter. Get it for your business today by calling 0730-847-847.
My Club, My Club, My Club! It's day 9 of My Club Festival Nakafu! With exclusive offers, massive discounts, irresistible prizes, big savings, bigger rewards! It's more than loyalty. It's crazy offers every day. Nakafu!
Skia ni juicy flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu pakituka na shika yummy na flow kama maji tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu moja juu ni tamu kama sali. Ni juicy flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, sijali my bro, hebu kama taka juicy juu ni juicy flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, sijali my bro, hebu kama taka juicy juu ni.
Good morning, Peter. We believe in ideas that can change the world.
We are for every dreamer, creator, striver, and believer. At ABSA CIB, we are invested in your story, and we invite you to write it with us because your story matters. ABSA.
The 2024 RATES Association of Kenya Conference is here from October 30th to November 1st in Naivasha. Register today and be part of this influential gathering. Visit rak.co.ke.
Asante sana, welcome back to the weekend edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. Conversation interesting sana. As I promised, our guests for this episode are Dr. Zippy Okoth. She's a lecturer, she's an actress, she sings, she does everything. She's a film producer. Zippy Okoth is in the house. Sawa basi, alafu one of the finest comedians in the country, mnamjua. He's also a radio presenter, a man who needs no introduction pia. MC Tricky is in the house. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Karibuni sana. Last time tulikuwa na Madam Zippy, the first, not the last time. The first time alikuwa anatufunza, alikuwa anatu lecture on film and theater production in one of the best initiatives. I don't know where zilienda. Again, like mi nikiflosia wase about kusoma film and theater, mi floss kama mse amesomea KU. Because then yes, you are yes. Ulikuwa na lecture at KU then, si ndio? But your story is also interesting. You guys mna come na approach very different on this episode because number one, you did not join campus to study for theater related activities at first. Please tell us about that.
Yeah, I think I really wanted to study theater, but first of all, that time it was not very popular. In fact, I think we are among the second graduates of theater arts in this country. So when I was joining campus, after arguing with my parents, my mother wanted me to do education, my father wanted me to be a lawyer. But then we all agreed that I'm going to Maseno now to do communication and media studies because at least when we on a TV kuna kitu. Not this theater and drama thing. It was a thing, yeah. So I went and then I was told we can change courses in campus. Yes. As long as you're registered. Hi, didn't I change? Didn't I keep quiet about it until idea? That's when my mother knew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So interesting. After an argument with your parents, you decided to switch courses when you find theater.
Yeah.
So before going to study acting, you were acting up.
Yes.
MCA Tricky, legendary. Most people don't know you. Like, watu wameshindangwa kuconnect idea ya chokora na engineer. Right? Most people don't know that you recently actually graduated. Now, that was not what you joined campus for in the first place.
Yes.
What happened?
Nikijoin campus, walininyima my dream course.
Yes.
Wakanipea ingine.
Yes.
But later on nikaingia my dream course. Nikijoin, of course, you are placed. Si wewe unaendanga kujiweka.
Yes.
Think daktari anakubaliana na mimi hapo. You are placed.
You are placed.
Unachukuliwa, unaplaceiwa.
Yes.
So sometimes, most of the times, some students wanna place younger to some courses that they don't even have an idea ni za nini.
Yes,
so mimi nikijoin Kenyatta University, I nearly place you in the School of Health Sciences.
Health Sciences?
Yes. Nilikuwa kwa school Department of Biochemistry. Ni vitu zingine hapo noma. Kuna vitu zinaitwa nonsense codon hapo. Na genetics ziko hapo mingi. It's a very tough course. But that was not my passion.
Yes.
So later on, I studied biochemistry for 1 full year at KU.
Yes.
Before I switched to my dream,
yes,
mechanical engineering. Na haikuwa rahisi. Think daktari hapa atakubaliana na mimi. Walking into these departments, in and out, trying to fill the forms that could change course from one course to the other, intra-faculty transfers, it's not easy.
Dr. Zipi, do you know the kind of suffering that people go through in campus? Like when you go to teach, do you as a teacher experience, ama as a lecturer, do you experience the atmosphere ya njaa kwa wanafunzi in terms of survival? Ama your relationship with students, you came here for this and that's that.
Wacha niseme, I think nowadays almost 10% of my salary goes into my actual students.
Oh.
Yeah, because utaona mwenyewe.
You tithe where you work.
You tithe where you work. Because one, there are students who are actually feeling hungry. You can see they're hungry. Then there are those ones that are very good students, and you can tell that this student is going to miss the whole semester because they can't afford fees.
Yes.
So instead of saying you are helping people on social media, I mean, just help pay for this student. And then the good thing, if they're within your institution, you are not giving them the money. You're paying with their admission number direct, and you're sure he is not going to eat. So
directly.
Yeah, so teaching is a calling. It's not you are the next parent of these kids.
So wewe as a lecturer, when you go on strike, you just strike for what you donate.
na feel vibaya nilimiss donation zake.
Haukuwa time yake.
Nilikuwa. She was there.
Oh, she was there.
You were not in my class.
But I was not
interact with them.
Department yake ilikuwa kando, but kuna wakati nilibra shoulders na department yako. Nilipoanza.
Kwa class yangu mara 3 hivi ningeona uko na njaa.
But sir, how do you tell Jusai akopoa but bado anakani kama akona njaa? How do you tell mtu akona njaa by just looking at them? How do you diagnose that?
You can tell. Umejua sio venye anakaa. Unaona venye ukiangalia raha, even ndani ya macho ya mtu, not in the way the skin is.
Yes.
If you look at somebody's eyes, it can tell a lot. Like I can tell whether you're a drug addict or whether you're just hungry.
Really?
Yeah.
You can look at someone like this useme huyu ameonja kitu,
huyu hajaonja kitu.
Yeah, I did when I was doing my masters, it was on use of dramatherapy among drug addicts. And I did it at Mathari Drug Rehabilitation Center. And so even in class, I am able to identify students who are taking, all those other stuff. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yes, and I approach them and I tell them, stop taking whatever you're taking. And they'll come, madam, where did you see me? I say, if you want to talk, if you want to help, there's help. But you have to stop it or else don't come to my class. But I'm very strict on that.
And you know them by, you are specific, like, unajua hii ni bangi, hii ni cocaine, like. You just know you are using something.
No, I may not say hii ni bangi, ni cocaine, but I can tell whether hii ni beer too, this is spirits, or now this is bangi and cocaine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell cheap alcohol by just...
Yeah. Almost all students take cheap alcohol.
Wow. Sawa. Umesheka ni kama umegunduliwa.
Sawa. Cheki. Karibu anipate.
Karibu akupate. Sasa wewe,
yes.
Are there things Umesikia Dr. Zippy akiwa mwalimu, kuna vitu anaweza jua. Kuna vitu ziu happen zenye mwalimu hana idea.
Kuna vitu mob ziko behind the scenes zenye mwalimu hana idea. Time nyingine naweza kuja daro na nimeshiba sana. Sababu unajua huko campus ukipata do unakulanga mara moja. Hakuna kubakisha.
Kukula ni one off.
So naweza kam daro na lala, so moja nadhani niko mlevi. Kumbe nimeshiba mpaka ya kesho. Sometimes nawachezea hiyo reverse psychology pia.
Okay.
So but I agree with her that sometimes they can see na waone noma ya comrades. But ile kubwa, hiyo ni the tip of the iceberg. Ile kubwa sasa iko kule kwa hostels ndani.
Na wewe pia ulikuwa shule time ya YY, cause YY unajua kuna time alikuwa kwa shule mpaka akituambia mpaka karibu akuwe mwizi wa kisu kampo. Alafu akasema he quit because vile aliingiza kisu hapa kwa mgongo akasikia hiyo kisu ni baridi. Akawachana nayo.
Story ya YY funny enough hakuna mtu ameshawahi jua hii story. I don't know kama YY shaisema. I slept, sorry, nikisema hivyo naelekea vibaya. Before all this fame and everything, Churchill Show, kila kitu, YY akiwa Oliver Otieno. Tulikuwa tunaishi kwa cubicle moja Kenyatta University. Some hostel called Old Men.
Hapo ndio kuna the lucky
Old Men Ngai.
Yes.
Hapo ndo tulipatana na YY. Akiwa Oliver, nikiwa Frank. That's where we started even this kind of acting, kutafuta jokes hapa na pale, even before YY joined Churchill Show.
Yes.
Na tuliteseka na yeye. Nikianza kuconfess hapa, daktari ataandika barua ya blue. To survive campus unahitaji ujanja. You can't survive there ukingoja utumiwe so mbili na mzazi.
What is your take on career choices for students and how it affects them in the job market?
There are two things. Some students are never vocal. Some students don't even know what they want. Let's be realistic about that. When you are told to fill those forms for university education, when you are in, nowadays I hear they do it in Form 3. Some students have totally no clue about what they want to do. So they just know, I want to do engineering. They don't know which type of engineering. So they just type, they just fill anything, you know. They don't know even how to look at their cluster. Because by Form 3, you should be able to know the kind of average marks you're getting, which subjects you're good in. If you're not good in sciences, don't feel engineering. If you're not good in languages, don't feel law. Even also, if you're not good in languages, don't feel for film and theater studies. If you know your marks cannot make you do, let me say, engineering, just feel their Bachelor of Sciences so that you go to Kenyatta University or University of Nairobi. Because once you are there, you can now do what Dr. Zippy did. You can change within the institution. You get it?
Yes.
Yeah. So always strive to go to the right university where you've been invited or where you are qualified to go.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can do the necessary.
Tricky represents someone who is in campus now.
Yeah.
Because I understand for campus there are two levels of marriages. You tell us about your time. There is marriage in campus.
Yes.
Only marry ukiwa year what?
And
Ulioa ukiwa KU?
Yeah. Kila mwaka in fact. Kila mwaka.
And you've talked about cohabiting. Kwanza yenu ilikuwaje? What was the agreement? Hiyo marriage ya campo. What is the
marriage ya campo most of the times inakuanga tu ya kuweka pesa za help vizuri. Zizipotelee huku nje, kuziweka vizuri. Because inaishanga zikiisha.
It's a rehearsal for the real marriage.
Yes. Most of the times pale campus guys are there na wamekuja na ile mohae. Huku ndo tuliambiwa tutapata wale madem. So ukikabila ule dem mwenye ulikuwa unaambiwa na mwalimu wako high school ulikuwa unajifeel you are lesser man. You have to look for somebody.
Yes.
Unakaa na yeye. Then of course most of the times campus guys tuna maringi semester ikianza wakati. Unajua semester ya comrade inakuwa kama formation ya Chelsea. Inakuwa 2 3 1 4. Let me explain this. 2 the first 2 weeks bado uko na ile marupurupu ya nyumbani. Uko sawa. 3 weeks zinafuata help inaingia. Sasa hapo ndio peak.
Sasa umeingia.
Mapenzi iko huko. Unapata na comrades wana kiss kila mahali. It's life. Umeelewa? Everywhere they are in love. Then after 3 weeks, those are 5 weeks now of the semester. Pesa inakatika. There is 1 week of confusion na kukosana. 1 week ya confusion kukosana, you don't know what you are going to do, ndo exams na approach, hauna pesa. then the last 4 weeks is ni hell. No one wants to be called baby, na unipei do. No one wants your love, now you mpati chochote. Kama ni dem, wanaanza kucheza nje ya campus sasa.
Like seriously.
That is the reality.
Na ni cycle.
Next
semester pia unarudi tena.
La sasa huwezi rudi na ule wala same sasa cause. Unajua the last 4 weeks mulishachana mkasahau kabisa kuhusu yes, so the next semester you start afresh.
Fresh marriage.
Tano mpya.
Allah.
Yeah, that is the cycle.
Now, and how does this affect academics? Ama ni system isha ku accepted?
I think the system yenye pia
it
affects of course because kwa hiyo formation nimeeleza manze unakujanga kuanza kufikiria mambo ya masomo vizuri.
Yes.
Third week, fourth week.
Ile time umesota. Ile time sasa ukameumana.
Maybe no wonder wametoa help. Like on average
wasijaribu.
How wametoa nasikia hivyo. On average basi mtu anaweza oa mara ngapi like conservative figures?
Conservative
in 3 years.
In 3 years
for a course.
For a course. Kama wewe ni mzembe wa kuoa kabisa. Nafai kuwe mara per semester, no, every semester chukua bibi tu. How many semesters are there in 3 years? There are 6.
But first year you are shy. Our first years they are not shy.
First years? Shy?
No, yeah.
You know what first years do? First years are shy, but madam second years and third years wanajua wako na help, so they are not shy.
Oh.
They calm down. Baby, calm down. They calm down to the first years.
Did this happen during your time? In campus, not as a lecturer.
As a student?
Yes. How many times did you get married in campus?
Not many times. I was actually a very good girl.
A very good girl, Meskiani, not many times.
Not many times.
Iko sawa sana, wapi makofi yao? Wazi. Asante sana. That's it for the weekend edition. See you next week. My name is Dr. Kingori.
Karibuni. Hii ndio base ya the best local entertainment.
Tell me where my money is.
You don't know what they do to girls like you.
Nakwambia mama Chantel amegeuka kwa mtoto siku hizi. Anabadilisha nguo kama mara 3 kwa siku.
This week on Cars with Big Boy Trev, we go all the way to Malaysia to review the Proton X70 SUV. We analyze its cabin comfort, innovative technologies, engine performance, fuel efficiency, and of course, give its value for money proposition against its rivals, the Renault Koleos and the Hyundai Tucson.
Catch this and much more only on Cars with Big Boy Trev this Sunday at 5 p.m. only on NTV.
Where did you come from?
Come with me. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
My name is Jacqueline Olwa. I work as a customer service executive at Nation Media Group. Some of my responsibilities is to ensure that our customers' inquiries are well addressed, and also we provide solutions to the needs of our customers. To all our esteemed customers, we appreciate your feedback, we appreciate your support, we appreciate the journey that you have taken to work with us as a media house. We want to wish you a happy customer service week as a Nation Media Group and its fraternity.
Pata taarifa teke na e-paper. Stay in the know on the go. Getting the full story bila ngori. To sign up, choose your preferred subscription. Use the promo code SUBZ22 to get 20% off and pay. Get your favorite newspaper and enjoy the truth anywhere, anytime. For inquiries, email epaper@ke.nationmedia.com or call 0790 111 111. Subscribe today and get your taarifa teke.
Want to know the biggest story of the week?
Do not worry, the Weekly Review got you covered. For in-depth analysis of politics, business, governance, as well as social issues, the Weekly Review covers it all. For well-researched, exclusive and investigative content, read the Weekly Review every Sunday in the Sunday Nation.
Kwa kweli juma hili la wateja wetu Customer Service Week ni juma ambalo linatukumbusha mengi kabisa, kama kauli mbiu inavyosema kwamba above and beyond. Waswahili wanasema tele haichunguliwi, kumaanisha kinachojaa kimejaa, kila mtu ataona. Na NTV tunajulikana kwa kuwa na ujazo na mjazo kwenye taarifa zetu. Stesheni ama kituo na idhaa ambayo inatoa taarifa kuntu za kuaminika na tendeti, na huo ndio bora wetu, na ndivyo tunavyojulikana, taarifa ambazo haziegemei upande wowote na taarifa ambazo zimeshiba. Mteja wangu ni mtazamaji ambaye ndio hadhira lengwa ya NTV, apate taarifa nzuri, taarifa ambazo zitamtia moyo, taarifa ambazo zitamfunza, taarifa ambazo pia zitamchangamsha, kukutia katika pahali ambapo pia wewe utafurahia nafsi yako kwamba ala, kumbe Kenya na ulimwengu kuna mazuri. Na kufunga kazi basi ni kwamba nawatakia wateja wetu wote, wapenzi wa NMG, wapenzi wa NTV, a happy Customer Service Week. Jamani, kokote mliko mjue kwenda mbele kurudi nyuma, NTV, NMG ndo kiboko yao.
Get ready to tantalize your taste buds and embark on a culinary journey with Pishi Bomba, the ultimate cooking show that brings the flavors of the world right into your living room. Tune in this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. with me, Claire Karatu, for a mouth-watering adventure. Pishi Bomba. Cook, eat, enjoy.
The truth is not governed. The truth governs our beliefs, our faith, the trust we give, the democracy we seek. When held back, it always breaks free. Seek the truth. Set yourself free. Subscribe to read online at epaper.nation.africa. Daily Nation, the truth unfiltered.
Reach your audience instantly and make a lasting impression with Nation Sema. Affordable bulk SMS at 0.3 Kenya shillings. Own sender ID for 10,000 Kenya shillings plus 10,000 free messages. To sign up, please call 0728434979 or email us on mkibunja@ke.nationmedia.com.
NTV, turning on your world.
Hello and welcome to TTTT. My name is Amina Abdi Rabar. My panelists tonight, I've got Silva Kido, I have Cindy Ogana.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hi Amina.
It's a threesome. Surely.
Cindy, you have bad manners.
I don't know
about
threesome. Menage a trois, Cindy.
But
I mean
it in the PG way.
Whoa! I was not ready for that. I was not ready for that.
I didn't see that coming
at all.
Cindy.
Kwanza venye ni Friday unajua Kido anaanza na assalamu alaikum, alafu Juma Karim, right? How are you, Kido? You're well?
I'm doing very, very well.
Nice.
Yani niko sawa.
Nice. It was a productive week for you.
Very productive.
Okay. All right. I like that. Dollar billionaire vibes.
Yes.
Not even billionaire. Nice.
Yes.
I see it. I see it. Cindy, you've been good?
I've been good. I've been great. Came from Narok, met fantastic people. It's such a fantastic county.
Shout out to the people in Narok.
Massive
Okay.
shout out, yeah.
Wanna watch show?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Salimi Amina, you know those salams that you get along the way? I'm like, yeah.
Amina,
so
you
just
don't
know
know.
everywhere I
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
when you let them show Amina.
Stop.
Yes.
That's not what they say.
Yes. Before it was Ile show ya Larry, now it's show ya Amina. So yes,
shout out
I'm
to
Cindy
the-
Ogana for the record.
People of Narok, hello. How are you? Do let us know where you're watching the show from, by the way. On social media, at The Trend Live is our handle on X. And a lot has been happening on X. We have to dive in and talk about some of those stories. So please do jump on that hashtag, TTTT. Let's get started with the funniest pasta. Genuinely, I think it's really for comic relief because I don't know if people... Anyway, now a video of Pasta Nganga has surfaced the internet, and of course it's disappointed very many people. He was pretty upset because he said that he received very little offering from his congregation. He's seen on the video throwing the offering from the collection box, which was by the dustbin, but he was throwing it on the floor, complaining, wondering, "Ni nani mmeleta hii pesa kidogo? You peasants, what's happening? Tafuteni pesa." Let's just check out the video. All right, fine. So, unfortunately, we don't have it, but it's him just... Cindy, did you see it?
I saw it, and he even pointed at some lady and said, "Where mama?" You know, like almost like probably she looks all nice and glam, and then she's come with kidogo money. It's not the first time we've talked about Pastor Nganga and his antics. I think it's come to be expected. You know, when he plays guitar, when he sings rumba, when he canas people and talks about his sex capades and all that sort of stuff, it's come to be expected. So I wasn't shocked when I saw something like this. You know, I felt bad for the lady who was mulikwat at the front. You can find that's probably all she had.
Yeah.
But, you know, willing buyer, willing seller. If you know this is your cup of tea, you know this is what you evangelize with, you know this is what you tolerate, you know, you accept what you tolerate. So yeah. Massive shout out to the guys of their church, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't
it's
get
not for
it,
you?
but
not your cup of tea?
Me. But you know, to each his own. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't. Like, what's the story? What's the vibe? What's the bangi? What is the
from the
what's
outside?
The tea?
You know, from the outside, because for some people who don't know, you know, what the inner workings of churches, what happens during service, and these are the clips that we see, and the others of those guys, you know, being told to do where they're sprayed with
yes.
There are all these things that they're just eating, consuming, and they're being slapped. Those are the clips we see.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the perception.
So you and Kido are like,
we're like, hey! Yani unatukanwa unapigiwa kelele kisha next week on
As
Sunday
I wear my hijab,
you're back. Kido, you have to be careful, but what are your thoughts?
For me, I'll say we need to move on with life. This kind of, you know, pastors we have in the society, actually, they're leading us back. They're taking us back. I believe, mimi nimesoma Biblia when I was growing up. I remember of a case in the Bible whereby there was a woman who donated, was it 3 cents in the church? Now, according to the Christian teachings, alikuwa considered ambayo mtu alitoa something big for the society, for the church. Now, what I'll say is that, you see, Pastor Nganga won't change to become another Pastor Nganga.
Yeah.
We don't expect much. Some of us, maybe some of them, they went to the church maybe just for the word. Of course, Pastor Nganga will disappoint you always. Ataleta band, ataleta matusi. That's part of preaching ya Pastor Nganga. So at the moment whereby alichukua hiyo do kutupa chini, I feel ali offend the churches. I feel I'll offend the waumini ambao wamekuja kanisani. For me, what I'll say, I'll suggest to, if we can have a society whereby sio lazima to contribute our offering mbele ya watu, we can have other options. I don't know if it's possible to ban, you know, easy offering na sadaka kwa kanisa. If possible,
you can't ban. What do you mean?
I mean, you
see, they also have operations.
They have operations. Kutoa ni roho ya mtu. Kutoa ni roho ya mtu. Kuna watu ambao wana run churches kama biashara. That's why unapata kama hiyo incidents ya kutolewa sadaka ndogo. Mtu anakuwa offended, ana feel disappointed. Unaget, hii nini mmetolea, hii nini mnapatia watu. Unajua, you don't need to command. Saa hii we're living in a society whereby even just to afford a bread or a milk, hakuna. So mtu amekuja amehustle, ametoa 50 bob, amejinyima, ametoa kwa sababu ya kutolea Mungu. Hajatolea Pastor Ng'ang'a. Mtu ametoa maybe isaidie kurun operation ya kanisa.
And that is why Kido, mimi nasema willing buyer, willing seller. Unajua kuna kanisa zingine unaenda, you expect such drama. There are some churches that even accept offerings and tithes in kind. If you're a farmer, you have harvest you bring, because it will feed the pastors, feed the priests, and it will feed the needy. Unaenda kwa kanisa ya mtu yule akona siasa paka akona TikTok paka anatukanana. What do you expect?
And what do you expect? You know, sometimes I feel like now you're you knew what you were getting when you go there. This is what you came for. Why are you surprised when I come and I slap you because you were falling asleep in my church? Si umeona nikifanya hivyo. But I think it's hilarious. I know there are people who go there just for laughs. Trust, I know there are people. I've seen guys go there to record TikToks and record, you know, clips for their Instagram. Yani it's become content creation. That is wild. Lakini Kido, a milk na a bread ni nini? Unajua hizi vitu? What is that?
Rangi is the only guy. Now it will be that me and you are ganging up against the
We bullied everyone.
He's the only guy.
What I'm trying to say.
It's okay, bro. It was a passion. It was a passion.
The message came across.
It did.
Where pardon you, where to Kido. You're still awesome.
This is why I'm called toxic. I need to stop. Anyway, now after public uproar, the ministry of Health has responded to concerns raised by Kenyans regarding potential adverse effects from the ongoing polio vaccination campaign. Reports allege that some children have fallen ill after receiving the vaccine and that vaccination teams are concealing their vehicle identities. The ministry has acknowledged these concerns, dismissing them as rumors and misinformation, and confirmed that investigations are underway. The ministry urges the public to wait for official results before spreading any unverified information. But I think that's impossible in the world of social media. People will share all types of things, and yes, there are still very many people who read things online and take it as fact. That's why you should follow credible pages. You know, you should follow Nation, for example, NTV, Daily Nation. Once it's posted there, you know
that's the truth and it's verified.
It's true. Especially, you know, with polio, you know, something that we had dealt with a long time ago. I remember when we were growing up, there were ads back to back to back to back. Let's kick polio out of Kenya. Let's kick. So we've come a really long way. Kido?
What I'll say is that we need to be careful with the information we consume up online, because everyone is a journalist now. There's kila mtu ni content creator, blogger. You know, people are being paid even just to spread false information. So as a parent, as a guardian, you need to be careful. If you have any inquiry about maybe polio vaccination, if you've seen a material going viral, please visit the nearby, you know, your health facility, confirm, ask. As well, come very active on the social media platforms. We have verified accounts we have verified accounts with, you know, badges of government, you know, offices, hospitals, so you can easily reach out, maybe DM, or you can ask a question in regards to that. As well, Pia, you know, this government has much information, so kama unataka number unaweza kwa chief, kuna number online, always verify. As a parent pia ni vizuri sana ule mtu amekuja pale kuleta hiyo vaccination, you have a right to ask for the identification, you have a right to check even the polio, uangalie kama iko na expiry, iko na inquiry, na if you doubt anything, instincts sometimes haidanganyi. If you feel like hapana, you can raise a concern. Pia vile vile ukiona watu ambao wana spread false information, Amina, what I'll suggest is that our watu washikwe, they have to suffer, or they have to pay for the consequences.
And then, you know, like, Kido, this spreading of false information I'm talking about, I guess it's in the age that we're living in. So many, especially when it comes to gazette notices, so many are circulated, and you're like, later on you go share them and it's gone, it's fake. So it's really, it's true. There should be some sort of prevention for fake news. My son is under the age of 5, so he got the polio vaccine. He's fine. However, I do appreciate that vaccines react very differently to different children. For example, when I got the COVID vaccine, I got COVID. Like, I got the COVID-like symptoms. It was for a day and it was fine. Other people, they were okay. They didn't feel anything. It depends on your immune system. It depends on your child. It's also good to know why these campaigns happen. You're like, kila wakati, watoto wanapewa vaccine ya polio. They're trying to sterilize our children. There's a disease control department in the government. And if something breaks out at some sector because of how fast it spreads, and let me tell you, children are spreaders of disease.
They are. Especially school-going.
Yes, they have to curb it. So if the government has worked so hard to kick polio out of Kenya, they are not going to take chances of some child found in Suji, which refugee camp, who has polio. They will just make sure that they're measured. So Kido, you know, you actually do have a point. Sometimes what on Kambaya and all that stuff, just creating false narratives and fear.
Yeah.
Well, all the information is out there. Now, challenge is, there is also information sometimes we are given from reliable government sources. You're like, unatubeba tu hapa.
Unatuona kama nini yako?
Unatuona kama sasa.
Wewe Cindy, let's take a break. Let's take a break. This girl is trying to get us fired.
Sikia, ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu Aya kituka na shika. Yummy na flow kama maji tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu moja juu ni tamu kama sali. Ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, sijali my bro, hebu kama taka juicy juu ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, sijali my bro, hebu kama taka juicy juu ni.
You know you're flying with the world's best. Crowned by Skytrax 15 years in a row. Yep, we've taken over 500 million of you to places. Our crew, they train like champions. Global safety standards, we nailed them. 23 years and counting, all thanks to our dedicated all-stars and you.
My club! It's day 9 of My Club Festival Nakafu! With exclusive offers, massive discounts, irresistible prizes, big savings, bigger rewards! It's more than loyalty. It's crazy offers every day. Nakafu!
The 2024 Rates Association of Kenya Conference is here from October 30th to November 1st in Naivasha. Register today and be part of this influential gathering. Visit rak.co.ke.
And welcome back. You're watching TTTT at The Trend Live is our handle on X. Please, I'd love to hear your thoughts about any of the stories we have discussed so far. And this one, the next one I'm about to touch, this one that I'm about to talk about, this is the one I want to hear. Hey, your 2 cents. Now, this story will have you question, what Kenyans are they actually talking about? It's not me or any of my friends. Now, according to a new pre-report by global wealth intelligence firm New World Wealth, the number of Kenyans worth at least $1 million, yes, you heard me right, $1 million, has risen by over 100 in the past year, bringing the total to 4,500. Nairobi remains Africa's 4th richest city, maintaining its position from last year. Now, I don't, Cindy and Kido, do you guys know any dollar millionaires?
I think I know by proxy.
By proxy? What about you, Kido?
I know by proxy, but I don't know
my bosses. Yeah.
I know by proxy.
Almost there.
Almost there?
But tukona hapa kwa studio.
Oh yeah, there's Amina.
Shut up, by the way.
I mean, just look at how you dress. There's no way you dress like
my clothes.
The rest of us who are busy going to a market.
So you can't get nowhere. I'm not being humble, Amina.
Wait. I look almost homeless usually on day to day. You've seen me. Wacheni ufala.
Honey, we see the gigs you do. Oh, first class please.
Let's just, no. I think it's just wash people. Honestly, I think it's money laundering.
No. I
legit,
you don't, no, I'm not talking about myself.
See, you thank God. Small girl, big God. Hashtag things. But you've brought in a very good point. I won't lie, this is money laundering. There's absolutely no way.
Yes.
What do you mean no way?
There's something called economies of scale. When economies grow, they grow gradually.
Yes.
There's something somewhere that's producing things, that's spreading money into the economy. People are buying it, people are getting employed, so there's that circle. But all of a sudden, there's cash. And people are rich. Where is this money coming from? It cannot be legit. It cannot be business legit.
Are you an entrepreneur, Cindy?
Sorry?
Are you an entrepreneur?
Yes, I am.
Unafanya nini? Unauza nini?
Mimi niko na biashara. I sell, let me
kuna watu wana supply kitunguu.
I sell insoles.
Kuna watu wana supply vitaki.
Let me tell you, it does not even pay school fees. Na hizi taxes na nini.
Unauzia nani?
Nini mtu analeta hana factory ya kutengeneza tissue ama chakula, and they have 1 million, as in their assets, their cash value is worth $1 million. That's more than about 170 million Kenya shillings. Ini biashara gani unafanya and you don't own a factory?
Also, shout out to the ladies, by the way, because also, let me tell you, Cindy.
Yes.
Now, I think it's, legal. I think their source of wealth is legal. Kido, and I'm not being sexist. It's just that they just seem legit. Their businesses seem legit. Because one of them does deals with wood. So she imports, exports. I see her do that. And anyway, so they're just, the owners of several clubs around Nairobi are, ladies. There's a brand new hotel, Apo Bypass, kama unaishinoko Kiamburo, umeiona, near a certain lady. So, women are also really working hard. So shout out to them. So najua wako hapo among the 100 that have now joined the 4,500. Is it 4,500?
Imagine.
4,500. Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, kitu ni tricky.
Wengi pia ni politics other than wash pia.
Politicians
deals nini? Hizo deals Morana ameshinda aki-expose.
Hapana, kwanza hizi ma night club that are coming up every corner. Don't even get me
started. Night club, apartments, Cindy.
Kilimani.
Kilimani has no space.
True. It is
Pake mekwa pipeline. Hata hakuna jua unanika nguo ndio building nyingine mekam. Where are people getting money to build? And you see it's an individual. Sio chama, sio sako kama kitambo.
Lakini kuna watu pia wana inherit mali ya Cindy. Unajua ndugu yako maybe anaweza kufa kesho mamilionea.
I saw what you did there.
Kuna makosa gani ukiandika kwa will?
Hakuna. Unachukua kila kitu pia. You know what I mean? Kwanza hii community ya kina Cindy, you also inherit the wife. So inaenda na the whole family. You just start and retire right then and there. But yeah, wewe.
Shout out to my brother, Fred Ogana, please. Feel free to put me in your will. A couple of apartments, I don't mind.
You don't mind?
No,
but honestly, my brother, what has he been doing? He works hard. You can see what other brothers are doing. There are other people. Because when you're 2 or 3 in the family, tunategemea mmoja. Afanye bidii, si wengine tuishi, tukwe black sheep. So
standards
I would urge them to work harder.
Dear brothers.
Standards, please, all across the country. If you're a brother.
Mimi nitakuwa tu familia iko na millionaire mimi na nimeona. That's the only way.
Not millionaire. Like if you join, one of these political families, you're set.
Yeah, because the dad doesn't want her child to marry somebody who is not a dollar millionaire. Taingizo tu kwa family business, all of a sudden my Prado manini.
In fact, that Prado is just the way things are happening.
How do you mean?
Because it's usually the first car I notice a lot of, people
I don't know what it is, by the way.
I don't get it too. But the other day I saw a really nice Rolls Royce. Yeah, so there's a page that shares all these cars, and I think he stands somewhere in Kilimani.
Yes, I know that page.
Yeah, and that should tell you we do have dollar millionaires, because why do we have a Lamborghini on the streets of Nairobi with all these potholes?
There's a word that is used, and I'll use it in context, where all of a sudden, maskini akipata matako lia mbwata. All of a sudden you are broke, then you have cash. You will not think of buying a Toyota Corolla.
But you see your mentality.
You will buy a Lamborghini.
Yeah, that's true. I would buy.
Your mentality unafaa kuchange. What's kuna teseka? You can be a millionaire, dollar millionaire even at 2025. It depends. Unafanya nini?
Forex.
It depends. I mean, unafanya nini? I mean, it depends.
Or it's true.
Unaweza pewa tu file upeleke kwa ofisi alafu utoke na.
Economics differs and says hakuna vile mtu, especially at a certain age, and you're not from a family that is wealthy, or you have inherited property, so you've not lived long enough to accumulate that sort of wealth. All of a sudden, you're in your late 20s, early 30s, even in your 40s, and you own the same amount of money that industries that produce things that are in fast-moving consumer good business are earning, and you're an individual. Please, usitubebe ufala.
Usitubebe ufala. Thank you, Cindy. You're worth 10 billion.
There's no way, and you're due 28.
You were a clerk for 11 years. Of your adult life. Yeah, some of them don't make sense. Some of them do. And that's why, you know, because now people have really glamorized politics. We feel as though it's politics that you can really
It's the ticket to success.
Yes. To riches, to wealth, to really truly changing your family's life, your family and your friends and your own life. You have to, you know, get into politics. So 10 to 27, here I come. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. We do need serious policy makers. Truly, we do. All right. So now from that all the way to KRA, the tax authorities will soon gain access to mobile money platforms like Paybill and Till numbers by the end of the year. These platforms will be converted into electronic tax registers, allowing the taxman to track transactions and ensure every Kenyan pays their fair share of taxes. And this has just made sense because let me tell you, in it was Sanford. Sanford lazima ulipe cash.
Why?
See, it's easier for them. That's just how they want to run their business.
Sanford peke, by the way. There are very many places. You're like, till number, send money.
Send money, money. See, send money.
Oh, cash, because send money can also be traced.
They can even, what if they backtrack it? They backdate it, sorry.
It's not bad.
Because you just owe a lot of money. What do you mean you've been making $1 billion a year? You know these small businesses that what would allow. It's been the same. It's just been some dodgy corner somewhere. It makes really good money per day. You would be surprised. Some of these small locals, you would be very, very surprised.
Very surprised. Let me tell you something else. Another group that KRA is targeting, send money, chama. So uko kwa chama sana inakuanga ya madem. Kuna ya 20,000, 50,000 and like your 12 people. Unatumia mtu moja treasurer pesa. You know, KRA is tracking and seeing this person gets on average 500K, 600K a month. Wanapigia nini simu, the treasurer simu anasema, if this is a real chama, you register it, you have a bank account, pesa ipelekwe huko. So now KRA are really deep into people's pockets. Paka chama wanafuata. So ka weni watu wa chama, sijui neka pesa sijui ya nini, watu wa treasurers wa matanga, sijui you're being followed by KRA. That's how much this government is looking for tax.
But that's very wrong, Cindy.
You know, let me tell you something, Cindy. Like we always say on this show, no one has refused to pay their taxes.
Absolutely.
People are more than glad, in fact, to pay. Yes, they're willing, more than willing to pay their taxes if at all we can see where they go and what it actually does. Because people are not seeing the return. We are paying, life is harder, we're changing schools, you know, where our kids go because we can't afford the other one. Things are just really hard and really tough for everyone. You used to, there are certain things you used to do per month, now you've refused. After your self-care, unafanya kwa like, you know, you've really cut down on expenses, but you're still paying all these taxes. You don't know where it's going, kiddo. You can't see where it's going. And I know you have something to say, but I have to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll start with you, Sawa. And we'll also read your comments back at home. Are you a dollar millionaire watching the show and wondering why are these people hating? I'd love to hear from you. And any of your thoughts about Pastor Nganga, the polio vaccine, and any of the other story that we've talked about, please do hit us up at The Trend Live on X. We'll be back after this.
Try the new Dunked All-Star Box for only 8.90 Kenyan shillings. Hope you're ready for the new star of the show. KFC, it's finger-licking good while stocks last. Try the new Dunked All-Star Box for only 8.90 Kenyan shillings. Hope you're ready for the new star of the show. KFC, it's finger-licking good while stocks last.
My club, my club, my club. It's day 9 of My Club Festival Nakafu with exclusive offers, massive discounts, irresistible prizes, big savings, bigger rewards. It's more than loyalty. It's crazy offers every day. Nakafu.
Acne-prone skin, marks? Stop. Try new Garnier Charcoal Serum with 4% AHA, BHA and charcoal. The first black serum with no residue. Clinically proven to reduce pimples and acne marks. New Garnier AHA, BHA Charcoal Serum. Approved by dermatologists by Garnier Naturally.
5 questions with Sarah. Hi guys. Wow, Sarah, your skin is glowing. What beauty soap do you use? I use a beauty soap that keeps my skin soft, moisturized, and protected from germs. But Sarah, the beauty soaps I know don't give germ protection.
Dettol Skincare does. It combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
This is NTV.
Tonight, relief for now. Court of Appeal quashes MP John Waluke's and Grace Wahungu's 67-year jail terms pending appeal. Also tonight, joy and mourning. Mother of boy killed during Gen Z protests allowed to bury him. His father's keen tear gassed from the court. Plus,
I find that given the extensive nature of these proceedings, starting from the National Assembly all the way to the Senate and the massive public interest of the matters generated, it will require the mind of more than one judge to determine.
Cases referred to the Chief Justice as Senate announces D-Day with embattled DP. Uncertainty over Rigathi Gachagwa's fate surges. And
kangangana na mmoja ule alichukua simu yangu ya pili, ya kwanza ilienda, sasa ya pili pia wanasema hii pia, nikashika mmoja ndio wakawa wananipiga ni muache. Insecurity
rocks Nyali as juvenile gang terrorizes residents. 2 people injured as scores lose valuables.
Is Dove better than ordinary soap? We're going to prove it. Take a bar of your soap and Dove. Use yours on one side, Dove on the other. The soap part feels rough. The Dove side is softer, smoother, and more radiant. With 1/4 moisturizing cream, Dove deeply nourishes for radiant skin all over. Try Dove and feel the difference.
Try the new Dunked All-Star Box for only 8.90 Kenyan shillings. Hope you're ready for the new star of the show. KFC, it's finger-licking good while stocks last.
Acne-prone skin, marks? Stop. Try new Garnier Charcoal Serum with 4% AHA, BHA and charcoal. The first black serum with no residue. Clinically proven to reduce pimples and acne marks. New Garnier AHA, BHA Charcoal Serum. Approved by dermatologists by Garnier Naturally.
Dettol Skincare combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
The 2024 Rates Association of Kenya Conference is here from October 30th to November 1st in Naivasha. Register today and be part of this influential gathering. Visit rak.co.ke.
And welcome back, welcome back. Let's take a look at some of your tweets at the Trend Live. Let me start off with Kido. Kido, watu Twitter wanasema nini? I mean X.
Jamani,
X
watu
thing.
pale kwenye X wamekasirika kidogo in regards to the concern of effects of polio and vaccination. Tumeona pale jamaa fulani anaitwa Mucheile anasema America has been the spreader of the anti-vax propaganda.
Anti-vaccine propaganda.
Ni kama ana suggest pale wamtafute awambie vizuri sana. As I look for more in regards to Pastor Nganga disappointment after receiving little offering. Abuga anasema mnataka mchungaji kule nini? Kule kondoa kule nini?
Kama tunatoa
kondoo.
tunatoa pesa kidogo ni madharau. It's disrespectful.
Double K anauliza kwani anataka ngapi?
Anataka thao ikienda juu.
Kuna target Cindy.
Kuna time alikuwa ameambia wase he had given water. I think they are given water maybe I don't know, the people at the front were given water. And he was upset and said kila mtu atoe thao ya hiyo maji ama amrudishie maji yake. Actually I don't think he asked for his water back. I think he just asked for 1,000 bob for the bottle of water. You have 50 bob, you know, but yeah, he doesn't play around. He doesn't play around. Cindy?
I can't remember the tweet, but someone's like, kwani sindu nakula mogoka, you keep chewing. Let me tell you. So I had this gum. It's not getting soft. It's just...
Are you still chewing?
I'm still chewing it. And it's such a nice... I'm committed to making sure that it gets soft. It's just... I'm like, why are you resisting? Why are you being so hard-headed? No, you have to get... That is the purpose of you being in my mouth. So it's a war between my jaws and the gum. Now there's Hilda who says... Some of the millionaires, pesa ni wash na wengine have sold their souls elsewhere to get that wealth. Let me tell you, it's not Naija movies, oh. It is not Naija movies.
It's not Naija movies. It's just money laundering and just deals
zingine,
under the
people
table
will
deals.
say, oh, Cindy, too many Naija movies. People are, the strange things, I think I even mentioned last week, the strange things happening in this country. There's just a very weird sort of season spirit in the air where funny things are happening, and are being allowed, they're being brushed aside, they're being normalized. It is not normal.
It's so true. It's so, let me tell you, if you've ever found yourself with very influential people, and I'm talking about very, 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 you know, the higher ups, there are people who, and they're not as open, but there are things they will mention that will have you wondering and thinking. Yeah, no, it's true. They don't, but they also, you know, ask these things to sort of test you out. Yeah, so nimejipata mahali fulani nashangaa watu wanazungumzia nini hawa wanazungumzia nini, but yes, there are a lot of deals that are happening, and Kido could also be right, especially in TZ. I've heard about those things in TZ. I'm serious.
Mganga wako ni nani Amina?
Mimi sina, ningekuwa hapa na wewe. Ningekuwa hapa na wewe. Kakangu.
Wale wako na waganga wafanyangi job, lakini wako na
do. Employed.
Wako na do. Let me tell you, it's not normal for a girl to meet a boy, for them to go on a date, and for her body to end up headless. It is not normal.
It's not.
For people to gang rape a man and take videos and share on social media. It is not normal for children to be burnt in a school for no explanation, and some children put in a bus-headed wear. Those are not normal things. True. So those who have ears, let them hear.
It's true.
Pesaraka, just to add maybe one more tweet. Demi anasema hapa, first, I'd like to thank Beyonce for this opportunity.
Oh my gosh.
Washirika wa Pastor Nganga saw it coming, so they should be surprised. Plus, attending his service is one of my bucket list. Amina, tunaenda kanisa Pastor Nganga Sunday.
And then he mufanya content creation by them.
Yes. I did want to go. There's a time I wanted to go. I was supposed to go with actually one of my colleagues here at Nation, alafu akaninini last minute, because ati alikuwa anaogopa they'll find us out. They'll tell and smell us out of the congregation and say we are not meant to be here, or we are just here, you know, for fun times. Alafu wataonanika yani ni madharau sasa, because why are we there to laugh? We're waiting for him to be upset. What makes me happy, by the way, is when he goes on live, because he's done this a couple of times, where he gets angry while alone.
Yes, online.
Gets in an argument by himself. I love it so much.
So
I am sorry.
comical.
I am not sorry. I've taken my sorry back. Why am I even sorry? You know, like he has arguments by himself all the time, and I love it. He's all alone. Yana nakasirika peke yake zinanibamba. But anyway, I don't know how I didn't start the show by thanking Beyonce, so I just want to thank Beyonce for this show. And thank her also on the trend at 10 p.m. In case you're wondering what's all this thank Beyonce. Now, apparently, people are alleging that they are thanking that all these celebrities, when they go on stage to win, you know, to receive their awards, they keep thanking Beyonce. because they want her to spare their lives.
Yes.
Apparently, she runs things in Hollywood, her together with her husband Jay-Z. This is all, of course, after all the allegations of P. Diddy came about, and they're saying that Jay-Z is even worse. Beyonce is now the queen. Queen Sheikh Twan. God damn. Anyway, but yeah, so everyone keeps thanking her all the time. Now, let's move on. Kido, I know you had a point, but let's just move on. Do we move on? I'm okay real quick.
About cashless thing is that the government is trying to fight the small entrepreneurs because we are trying to get rid of cashless system. I don't know what's happening. Kwa sababu waria, waliona hiki kitu kitambo sana. Ukienda Isili, hakuna mambo ya
pesa ni ukweli. That's true.
Cash.
Ni cash. Kwanza nakuambia ama withdraw.
Shika agent to nipatie.
Ni withdraw.
That's true. People do give you a number to withdraw from. They even have it off the top of their head. Then they call someone. They're like, hello, Cindy, Mabata Bracer. I don't know why I'm talking like that. And they're my peeps, surely.
Because you can get the ups and downs.
Right? You know? But that's what they do. That's what they do. Shout out to my brothers. Hey, but they have money. Let's go. In fact, you're dollar millionaire pia. Hey. Wasomali
Hapa tu down the road, by the way.
Na hizo banks za Wasomali nikiendanga. Yani na feel hakuna kitu nimekuja ku deposit hapa. Hakuna, but they have money. They do. So shout out to them. Now, let's move on. A Turkish airline flight from Seattle to Istanbul made an emergency landing in New York after the plane's captain, Isehin Pehlivan, I hope I pronounced the name correctly, tragically died mid-flight from a heart attack. Despite the crew's efforts to revive him, he, at 59 years of age, could not be saved. The flight crew, including a co-pilot, diverted the Airbus 350 to JFK Airport, where it landed safely. Now, he had been with Turkish Airlines since 2007 and had recently passed a medical check in 2014 with no signs of health issues. And our thoughts, of course, go to his family, colleagues, friends, and everyone. May his soul rest in peace. Pole sana. And I know the name I must have butchered, but Poleni sana. Poleni sana. Yeah.
It's so sad, you know. It's so sad to lose someone, to the family, like to the friends. You know, it's so sad. I just want to wish them, may God give them strength during this difficult time. But something we've learned from this situation is that we need to have. I believe we should have medical officers, practitioners on board.
On board, forward. Yeah. By
because
the way,
kama ingekuwa ni rais amebebwa kwa hiyo ndege
hapa. Utaenda mbali. Anyway, endelea kidogo.
Unaona kitu kama hiyo, we can't afford to lose. We can't afford to have more cases like this. So my suggestion moving forward, we should have medical practitioners officers. Ama ikiwezekana wale crew, cabin crew, at least wapitishwe pale, you know, courses kidogo za medical. But my ideal is to have a medical practitioner, a doctor kwa ndege to avoid such situation moving forward.
Yeah, alafu unajua, it's also just another reminder because imenikumbusha ile Kobe Bryant, but when you leave home in the morning, there's no promise
get back
that you're going
it's
to.
A blessing. It's a blessing.
It is. Truly,
it really is a blessing. What caught my attention about this story is that when the pilot passed on, the crew, and they didn't say the co-pilot, the crew put, they swung into place and they were able to save the day. I wonder if our crew is that skilled. Just
are they what I'll say, they did their best. What I'll say, they did their best. But you see at the end, pia ilikuwa imeandikwa, you know, you can avoid some things. But what I'll suggest is that moving forward, you need to be careful. Alafu pia unaona passengers, wali hawakuwa shock hivyo.
Because the crew was equipped, the crew was trained. I wonder what kind of training there is to be a crew member in a Kenyan airline, you know, other than maybe, I don't know what other kind of training that they have.
But our cops have to have straight teeth, and I don't know what.
You know?
I imagine they are trained. I imagine they're trained.
It would be nice if there's somebody in the airline industry and I'm getting all this wrong, please correct us, because all we know is what we see when we're told, fasten your seatbelts, the masks, you know, on this aisle. That's all we see. It would be nice to know or learn, if even us, because I think as a country, we're really horrible with disasters. And we are also really horrible with
generally
and training more people with one skill. Utapata kwa ofisi moja ni mtu moja tu ndio anajua kufixi kamera, kivunjika ni hivyo. Na nakufa na hiyo skill, and also don't like sharing skills. We like just personalizing these things. But
it's true. We used to have a sound engineer at Capital FM.
We don't.
Yeah. It's
Let
true.
me tell you, today, me and my husband, we had an experience. We went to a government office to fix an E-Teams issue and you were told the guy for teams ayuko amenda msikiti ajarudi sayo ni 3 4 paka my husband Lisa, so God forbid this guy falls sick. Unajua kusema hizi issues zote za teams hakuna mtu mwingine atafix. We like ni mtu moja tu kwa hii department. We don't like sharing knowledge.
Because if you share the knowledge, you'll be fired.
You'll be fired and you will be useless.
It's a way of me preserving my
But there's actually value in many people knowing this. We like hoarding. Unaona ukienda downtown ni duka mingi zote. Mtu mmoja alianza duka ya simu. Sasa the whole of downtown duka ya simu. There's a lady alianza history. What if I take warus, I cut them real thin, I fry them myself at traffic squeeze. Kila mahali utapata hizo cripples at traffic. We are not ingenious in terms of we replicate, we duplicate, we copy and paste.
Copy and paste. Just to add something, Cindy. Pia sisi passengers ambao tumetravel kidogo kwa ndege. I mean, I just travel sana, lakini I'll be leaving the country on Monday. I'm going to Uganda. I want to ask this.
Real quick, Cindy, let me tell you. So Kido went to SA a few weeks ago. Let me tell you every story.
Yes.
Was, you know when I went to South Africa? You know, hey, Kido, we're even talking about small chat.
You know when I'm going to Dubai first class?
Surely.
I'm going to Uganda. But now, this is a concern to the passengers. When the cabin crew wanatufundisha mambo ya first aid emergency, we never pay attention.
No.
One. Second, I want them to introduce something like a first aid session. So akishamaliza kuambia watu exit ni na hii na hii. Kuna zile choking, kuna zile ukifaint, kuna zile una feel like pressure.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
They have to introduce
that. Do it
in
your free time. St. John offers them for free. Red Cross offer them for free. Every day they're always asking volunteers, please come, learn, so that when anyone gets a heart attack, hapo kama hapa archives, you know, ama hapo karibu wakipanga line ya double M, mtu akifanikiwa na kitu, hakuna mtu anajuanga kitu ya kufanya. And it's free. You just go, and who knows, you can even now get a job and go outside the country and be a caregiver, which I understand is, you know,
is dollar millionaire money.
Stop, that's not what I meant. Anyway, now who knew buds are so expensive? Oh man, we're closing. But I wanted to talk about the 8 billion Kenya shillings that Kenya Airways spends annually to repair airlines because of the bad strikes that they get at JKIA. And that's, sorry, over the past 4 years, not annually, forgive me. 8 billion in the past 4 years, repairing aircrafts that have been damaged by buds.
I'd believe it. I know it sounds like it's a scandal, but I'd believe it.
Another scandal loading.
Airlines, they are so expensive. They are so expensive. They're not made here. You can't ship a part. Sometimes you have to ship the whole plane. It is so expensive. I believe.
Okay, imagine sasa you I was going to say you're dushu to join So imagine last week there was a strike. This week there's a strike. Oh my days. Yeah. It's expensive.
It's expensive. So expensive.
We've got to end the show.
I totally believe it.
We've got to end the show. Kido?
About the buds?
No,
strike?
we don't have time. Say bye.
Oh guys, see you, my Ugandan people.
See you in Uganda.
I'm coming.
Stop it. Anyway, Glenn Washington is up at 10 p.m. I want to hear how it was performing at a church.
Yeah. Please ask him.
I will. I have to. And of course, you can watch as well. We have a host of other guests all happening at 10 p.m. right after the news. Time now for the news. So I've got to love and leave you. My name is Amina Abdurrabah. Thank you to Kido. Thank you to Cindy, my panelist tonight. I'll catch you at 10 p.m. Good evening.
Crowned by Skytrax 15 years in a row. Yep, we've taken over 500 million of you to places. All thanks to our dedicated All-Stars and you.
Dawa, tu vitu tudogo lakini hesabu mingi. 1 times 4, 3 times 2, 2 times.
Umepitisha limit ya dawa.
That's a tough pill to swallow. He's now wondering why he doesn't have Shwari medical cover. Una access full limit kutumia unavyohitaji. Ukiwa na Shwari, utawahi sikia umepitisha limit ya dawa na bado kuna pesa imebaki. Bonyeza *371# kuchukua Shwari medical cover leo.
welcome one and all to Park Peak Residency. This is Mwenesi Musalia, the curator of fine places and spaces. I am currently in 4th Parklands, Nairobi, in an amazing development by Urban Pulse Real Estate Limited. This property has a 3, 4, 5 and 6 bedroom unit complement, which is available for you to come and view every day from Monday to Sunday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So let's get into it, guys, and let me show you what this amazing property is all about.
Acne-prone skin, marks? Stop. Try new Garnier Charcoal Serum with 4% AHA, BHA and charcoal. The first black serum with no residue. Clinically proven to reduce pimples and acne marks. New Garnier AHA, BHA Charcoal Serum. Approved by dermatologists by Garnier Naturally.
Here comes the, Try the new Dunked All.
Of My Club Festival Nakafu with exclusive offers, massive discounts, irresistible prizes, big savings, bigger rewards. It's more than loyalty. It's crazy offers every day. Nakafu.
This is NTV.
A very good evening and welcome to NTV Weekend Edition on this Friday, the 11th of October. My name is Michelle Ngele Odhiambo. Many thanks for joining us. Now tonight, all eyes are on Chief Justice Martha Koome, who's expected to name a 3-judge bench to handle a whopping 24 cases challenging the impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. With the Senate scheduled to cast the die this coming Thursday, political tension is at an all-time high. We bring you the twists and turns in this unfolding saga in the country's historic moment. Alongside these other news making headlines. Relief for now. Court of Appeal quashes MP John Waluke's and Grace Wahungu's 67-year jail terms pending appeal. Also tonight, joy and mourning. Mother of boy killed during Gen Z protests allowed to bury him. His father's keen tear gassed from the court. Plus,
I find that given the extensive nature of these proceedings, starting from the National Assembly all the way to the Senate and the massive public interest of the matters generated, it will require the mind of more than one judge to determine.
Cases referred to the Chief Justice as Senate announces D-Day with embattled DP. Uncertainty over Rigathi Gachagua's fate surges. And
kangangana na mmoja ule alichukua simu yangu ya pili, ya kwanza ilienda, sasa ya pili pia wanasema hii pia, nikashika mmoja ndio wakawa wananipiga ni muache.
Insecurity rocks Nyali as juvenile gang terrorizes residents. 2 people injured as scores lose valuables.
NTV Weekend Edition with Michelle Ngele Obdiambo.
Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. Now, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has declared Bangale Sub-County and Tana North Sub-County in Tana River County as security disturbed and dangerous. In a Gazette notice, Kindiki says the declaration will remain in effect in 11 locations in the 2 sub-counties for the next 30 days. In a separate Gazette notice, the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, has prohibited people living in the 2 sub-counties from being in possession of firearms. The IG has also ordered all inhabitants of Bangale Sub-County and Tana North Sub-County to surrender all arms in their possession to the nearest police station, police post, police camp and national government administration offices with immediate effect for safe custody. The notice says all arms surrendered shall be returned to their owners upon the revocation or termination of the Gazette notice. And the Court of Appeal has quashed 67-year jail terms imposed against Sirisia MP John Waluke and his former business partner Grace Wahungu, who had been accused of fraudulently acquiring 313 million shillings from a government agency. The appellate judges faulted the lower court for failing to reanalyze and re-evaluate the evidence tendered in the trial court as required by law. The two had been jailed with an alternative of paying fines in excess of 1 billion shillings after they were found guilty of fraudulently receiving money from the National Cereals and Produce Board NCPB for maize which was never supplied.
It's a win for Sirisia MP John Waluke and his co-director Grace Wahungu after the Court of Appeal overturned the High Court's decision. A 3-judge bench of the appellant court comprising Justices Asike Mhandia, Patrick Kiage and Abida Ali Aroni set aside the sentence imposed on Waluke and Wahungu of a popular agency known as Irad Supplies and General Contractors for irregularly obtaining more than 300 million shillings from the National Cereals and Produce Board NCPB. The two had moved to the upper court to appeal the decision after they were found guilty of fraudulently receiving money from the NCPB in an alleged botched deal to supply some 40,000 metric tons to the government in 2004. But the Court of Appeal, in a decision on Friday, disagreed with the sentencing issued by the High Court. We are satisfied that the appellants have made a case to warrant us to allow the appeal. The appeal is accordingly allowed and the convictions and sentences imposed on the appellants are set aside. The appellants shall forthwith be set at liberty unless otherwise lawfully held, said the Court of Appeal judges. Justice Abida Ali Aroni declined to sign the judgment. The duo was in 2020 convicted and sentenced after they were found guilty of various charges ranging from altering false documents and unlawful acquisition of public property. Wahungu got a 69-year jail term while Waluke was handed a 67-year jail term. Each was given an option of a 1 billion shillings fine. The appellate judges faulted the lower court for failing to reanalyze and reevaluate the evidence tendered in the trial court as required by the law. Waluke had been accused of making a false invoice as evidence to support a maize storage claim by Chelsea Freights, who was also charged with fraudulently acquiring 297 million shillings from the public as a cost of storing the maize, which was to be supplied to NCPB. But the judges say that even if the offense of uttering false documents had been proved, it did not automatically mean that the other offenses Waluke had been charged with had been committed. A proper re-evaluation of the evidence would have revealed that there was no evidence that Waluke received money in all the charges relating to the acquisition of public property, since the money had only been deposited with the advocates of the company, the judges ruled. The court also condemned the National Cereals and Produce Board for attempting to punish Waluke and Wahungu to satisfy malicious motives. The appellate court emphasized that the prosecution did not sufficiently differentiate between legitimate funds and those allegedly involved in corrupt activities. Waluke and Wahungu have been out on bond of 10 and 20 million shillings cash bail, respectively, after spending 3 months in jail for the fraud. Rozongoi, NTV.
Elsewhere, 3 suspects have been arrested in connection to the mugging, looting and maiming of several people in Mombasa Friday morning. The trio is part of tens of suspected criminals who descended on unsuspecting Kenyans along Beach Road in Nyali, making away with their valuables. 2 people sustained serious injuries from the brazen attack, which instilled fear among the locals. NTV's Kevin Mutai with more details.
As the country marked the October Mazingira holiday on Friday, this group of youth seized the opportunity to rob unsuspecting Kenyans in Mombasa. According to eyewitnesses, the gang moved as a group from Nyali Beach, attacking and stealing from anyone along their path, targeting phones, money and other valuables.
Wakati wanakuja hivi pale Mamba roundabout, ndo wakaanza kuvamia watu, wanabiashara, kuwapora. Na ilikuwa ni asubuhi, tukio lifanyika around saa 2 na nusu.
Walikuwa vijana wadogo, wao kama umri wa miaka 21 hivi, walipokuwa wakitoka baharini wakienda sehemu za Kongoea.
Emmanuel Ogada is an online hailing taxi driver and one of the victims of the marauding gang. He sustained injuries from the attack. He says he was ambushed while on standby waiting for his clients, losing 2 phones to his attackers.
Alinipiga kichwa na wakanivunja mguu. So mguu nilikuja kugundua wakati polisi wananipeleka Kongoea pale hospitali. Ndio baadaye nika notice mguu haiwezi kanyaga chini kwenda kupimwa, nikaambiwa imeachana. Kuna mzee alipigwa hapa yeye akaazimia kabisa, wakamwacha.
Luckily, he managed to wrestle down one of his attackers until police on patrol arrived and arrested some of the suspects who were detained at Nyali police station.
Kangangana na mmoja ule alichukua simu yangu ya pili, ya kwanza ilienda, sasa ya pili pia wanasema hii pia. Nikashika mmoja ndio wakawa wananipiga nimwache.
They proceeded with a looting spree to other areas in Nyali and Kisauni, locals calling on the police to up their game and deal with lawlessness and terror orchestrated by juvenile criminal gangs in the region.
Wamevamia watu kuanzia hapa Kisumu ndogo yote, mahoteli wamekula mandazi, wakivamia kila mtu barabarani. Kwa hivyo mimi ningeomba serikali at least tukipeleka malalamishi yetu tupate kusaidiwa.
Wakanifuata na mawe, walikuwa wanataka kunipiga, nilikuwa nimeshikilia simu kwa mkono. So nilipoona tayari kile kisa msichana amepokonywa simu, nikaona wananikujia mimi, so ikabidi nitake cover.
Tusingoje paka vijana hawa wakati wazungu ama watalii wanaokuja katika nchi yetu. Because vile tunavyoona hawa vijana lazima wadhibitiwe na washikwe na wachukuliwe hatua za kisheria.
So far, 3 suspects have been arrested in connection to the incident. Kevin Mutai, NTV in Mombasa.
A 12-year-old boy who was killed during anti-government protests in June will be buried in Rusinga Island as per his mother's wishes, the court has ruled. 12-year-old Onyango was shot dead in Rongai, Kajiado County during the anti-government protests, sparking a row over his burial place between his father, Dennis Shokinyi, and his mother, Jacinta Anyango. The parents were separated before Onyango's death. Here's Margaret Kimathi with more details.
The cry of a dejected father. Dennis Shokinyi has lost the battle over his slain son to his estranged wife, Jacinta Anyango. The duo has been fighting in court for burial rights for 12-year-old Kennedy Onyango, who was killed in Rongai, Kajiado County during the Gen Z-led protest in June. The father, Dennis Shokinyi, wanted to bury Onyango in Kisaku village in Homa Bay County, while the mother, Jacinta Anyango, wanted her son buried in Rusinga Island. On Friday, a magistrate court in Bita ended the 3-month court battle.
In this case, besides the fact that given the father and his family's treatment of the deceased, he is not deserving of the right to bury the deceased remains. The deceased body be and is hereby released to the second defendant for burial. The second defendant shall coordinate with the plaintiff in making the funeral preparations of the deceased person.
In her ruling, Bita Principal Magistrate Mother Gutu directed that Kennedy's body be taken to Kamasengre village in Rusinga for burial. The court ruling now allows the mother, Jacinta Anyango, to oversee the funeral.
Members of the deceased family shall be at liberty to participate in the funeral arrangements and the burial of the deceased herein. And lastly, this being a dispute pitting biological parents of the deceased, each party is to bear his or her own costs.
Police were forced to use tear gas to disperse a group that accompanied Okinyi to the courtroom on Friday. The group had refused to leave the court premises over dissatisfaction with the ruling. Kennedy's death courted controversy from the onset, with his mother, an activist on one hand, claiming that he was shot by the police, and the government led by President William Ruto on the other, saying he was shot by criminals masquerading as protesters. Margaret Kimathi, NTV.
The Nyeri High Court has forbidden reopening of boarding facilities at Hillside and Arusha Academy until a case filed against the school is heard and determined. The court decision cites a threat to safety and the health of pupils. The decision follows a petition by the Kenya Human Rights Commission. David Karani and the Elimu Bora Working Group raised alarm over the school's readiness to safely accommodate students after a tragic fire incident in September claimed 21 lives. The case will be mentioned next week. Hillside and Arusha Academy reopened on Wednesday, the 9th of October. Now, Chief Justice Martha Koome is expected to form a 3-judge bench that will determine the 24 cases that have so far been filed challenging the impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua as soon as possible. This is after High Court Judge Lawrence Mugambi referred 5 petitions that are against Gachagua's impeachment to the Chief Justice and recommended that a bench be constituted to hear and issue a verdict on the weighty issues raised in the petitions. And as NTV's David Mudhoka reports, as the Chief Justice ponders on the 3 judges who will handle the historic case, it is now official that senators will decide Gachagua's fate this coming Thursday from 8:30 p.m.
All eyes are now on Chief Justice Martha Koome to see when the Chief Justice will form a 3-judge bench that will have the task of hearing and determining all the cases that are challenging the historic impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Kenyans are also waiting to see which judges will be picked by the Chief Justice to ultimately decide the fate of DP Gachagua. This is after High Court Judge Lawrence Mugambi on Friday morning referred 5 petitions that are challenging the impeachment of Gachagua to his boss in the judiciary and recommended that she forms a bench of 3 judges that will sit here and determine all the petitions that are against Gachagua's ouster.
Considering the immense public interest that this matter has generated, and being the first of its kind in Kenya where the Deputy President of the Republic is being removed by process of impeachment, it is my considered opinion this matter deserves the input of a bench so as to pronounce itself on the process that is constitutionally compliant to serve as a benchmark for future undertakings of this nature. It is necessary for this citizenry of this country to know whether the current state of law allows adequate opportunity to participate meaningfully in the process of removal of their deputy president.
Apart from the case that is poking holes on Gachagua's impeachment process by citing insufficient and hurried public participation, a total of 23 other cases that challenge Gachagua's removal from office have so far been filed in court. One of the cases is a case filed by former UDA Secretary General Cleophas Malala, who wants Gachagua's impeachment set aside because the National Assembly, which drew the first blood on Gachagua, has no sufficient women as per the 2/3 gender rule. The second case is a petition filed by lawyer Morara Omoke, who wants the court to bar the government from appointing Gachagua's successor should he be impeached by the Senate until the petition is heard and determined.
I find that given the extensive nature of these proceedings, starting from the National Assembly all the way to the Senate and the massive public interest that the matter has generated, it will require the mind of more than one judge to determine.
As this happens in the corridors of justice, NTV has established that senators will vote to either save or sink Gachagua from 8:30 p.m. this coming Thursday. According to the official impeachment schedule seen by NTV, the National Assembly will have the entire Wednesday to nail Gachagua, while Gachagua will plead his case from 9:30 a.m. on Thursday to 6:30 p.m. After that, all 67 senators will vote on all the 11 charges to determine whether Gachagua should either stay in office or go home. David Muthoka, NTV, Nairobi.
And as the countdown to COP29 continues, the spotlight remains firmly on climate financing. With just weeks to go until the event, anxiety is mounting among young people around the globe. Youth climate activists are passionately urging their respective countries to provide robust support for initiatives led by young people, highlighting their severe obstacles such as insufficient funding and inadequate inclusion. Helen Haura with more details.
We are all at the forefront.
The third edition of the Global Climate Justice Camp has brought together over 300 participants from about 100 countries in Arusha, Tanzania, to contribute to the climate conversation and address a range of timely and critical issues.
I am from the indigenous Maasai community, and from the experience in my community, youth are running to town looking for other jobs because the climate change has affected the livestock keeping activities that we have been using as a source of income. Now, youth men are running to town and they are leaving women in the villages and they are becoming the victim of climate change. So now we need the voice of young men and women so that we may mitigate on the climate change, to make our community to have climate resilience, to have knowledge on the climate justice so that we may ensure justice for all.
With the solidarity in numbers, they are well aware that if they do not speak with one voice, they risk being pushed out of the opportunity to bring about change at COP29. This year's COP29 has a key focus on climate financing. Despite the spirited efforts to be recognized, the youth continue to face several challenges.
They needed to, their voice can be heard, and some people, some politicians, they can respect the youth. But they are not only the future, but they are the people that now can make the thing.
Finances is a really bottleneck. So once they get the finances, definitely they'll make a difference. Number two, there's more need of capacity building and awareness.
It's going to be a very heavy emphasis around climate finance, making sure for those folks who are just starting their process around multilateralism and COP, they're very proficient on the concepts around climate finance. For those who are very aware of the concepts and actively campaigning on it, have opportunities to share some of their initiatives, get more people to embrace them, get more people to collaborate on them.
The 5-day camp will culminate on October 12th, with the young people in attendance making a public declaration ahead of COP29. With COP29 inching closer in Baku, Azerbaijan, the youth say they not only just want to be another checkbox in the climate conversation in their particular governments. This time round, they want to speak with one voice in matters climate financing, adaptation and mitigation. Helen Aura, NTV.
And that report by Helen Aura brings us to a break on NTV Weekend Edition. Much more making headlines on the other side. Do stay with us.
You have all heard the word Betika, but do you know what Betika really means? To Betika is to climb to the top of the world. To Betika is to get promoted to the next level and to win again and again and again. To Betika is to test the limits of speed and to swing hard at every opportunity. To Betika is to do the impossible. It is possible with Betika.
Welcome to Betika, the home of champions.
Lakini vile hii ekonomi imetufinya, ilinibidi kubadilisha sabuni nikatumia ingine rahisi. Bala, ilibidi nioshe kila kitu mara 2. Sikuwa na otherwise, nikarudia Ariel.
Ariel, usafi bora kwa mwosho mmoja tu.
Acne prone skin, marks? Stop. Try new Garnier Charcoal Serum with 4% AHA, BHA and charcoal. The first black serum with no residue. Clinically proven to reduce pimples and acne marks. New Garnier AHA, BHA Charcoal Serum. Approved by dermatologists by Garnier Naturally.
Avieta imerahisishwa. Sasa kuna njia mpya na rahisi ya kucheza Avieta. Dial *419# kwenye simu yako na ucheze wakati wowote.
A very good evening to you. It's time to take a look at the business news, and my name is Nina Shaban. Now, former Cabinet Secretary Raphael Tuju has suffered a major blow after 5 judges of the Supreme Court recused themselves from hearing and determining an appeal by the politician against a Court of Appeal ruling over 4.5 billion shillings he owes to the East African Development Bank. In making the ruling, the court affirmed that the Court of Appeal ruling against Raphael Tuju stands unless otherwise dismissed or upheld by a competent bench of the Supreme Court.
In a ruling dismissing an application made by Raphael Tuju, his 2 farms and 3 children are seeking to stop the court from hearing the appeal until a petition before the Judicial Service Commission against the 5 judges is determined. The court noted that Tuju was accusing it of lack of impartiality, fairness and integrity. The court concluded that in the circumstances, further proceedings before the court would not serve justice, at least in the eyes of Tuju. In a petition to the JSC, Tuju had accused Lady Justice Philomena Mwilu, Justice Mohammed Ibrahim, Justice Smoking Wajala, Lady Justice Njokindungu, and Justice William Oko of conducting themselves in a manner that is impartial and departing from the basic expectations of a court of law, and that the court had fallen short of its mandate under the Constitution. The court ruled, and I quote, "Having arrived at the inescapable conclusion that we are being accused of bias and working towards an undisclosed predetermined outcome, we are strongly persuaded that our further participation in these proceedings will not serve the ends of justice, at least in the eyes and perception of the appellants or applicants. Consequently and inevitably, each of us on this bench does hereby recuse him or herself from further participation in the hearing and determination of the appeal." End of quote. In making the ruling, the court affirmed that the Court of Appeal ruling against Raphael Tuju stands unless otherwise dismissed or upheld by the competent bench of the Supreme Court. The former politician is facing auction of Dari and Antip Sidai prime properties in Karen over the outstanding loan to the East African Development Bank.
In other news, the High Court has extended an order barring the increment of the roads maintenance levy, also known as RML, to 25 shillings per litre of fuel, turning attention to fuel prices ahead of the new pricing cycle that starts next Monday. Now, the ruling extending the freeze on a high RML will be in force until the 15th of October 2024, and the day that new pump prices will come into force. A similar ruling was first made last month, but has been ignored ignored by the energy regulator, lowering the rate of RML to the previous 18 shillings per litre of diesel and petrol can help lower fuel prices, given the shilling has held steady against the dollar while global prices of fuel have not shot up in the last week. India's Adani Group will spend 95.68 billion shillings to build and operate 4 key electricity transmission lines and 2 substations for over 30 years before handing them over to Kenya. These are part of the terms that Ketraco and Adani Energy Solutions, the power subsidiary of Adani Group, signed on Wednesday, marking the country's maiden public-private partnership-funded power project. The lines to be funded via a combination of debt and equity are the 208.73 kilometre, 400 kilovolts of Gilgil Thika Mala Kwanza and the 95 kilometre, 220 kilovolts of Rongai Keringet Chamusit and the 70 kilometre, 132 kilovolts of Minagai Olkalau and Rumuruti lines. Siaya Governor James Orengo has called for the safeguarding of the gains made in securing media freedom in Kenya, saying that the Fourth Estate has been at the forefront in shaping Kenya's democracy. Orengo also lauded Nation Media Group for preserving history, including helping solve a critical Kisumu trial through achieved or archived articles, and he made the remarks at the Nation Center when he announced a partnership with Nation Media Group for the Siaya Cultural and Sports Festivals slated for December. Governor Orengo also unveiled plans to elevate Siaya's tourism and economic potential.
And the freedom of the media are central to our very being as free citizens and as a republic. Without the freedom of expression and the freedom of the media, I think society as organized as civilized democracies would find it very difficult, to exist. And I must say, over the years, the nation has played a very critical role. One of the biggest irrigation schemes, Lower Nzoia irrigation scheme. The 10,000 acres of that irrigation system is almost complete, and all of it is in Siaya. We think cotton is going to do well. We are trying to promote cotton. And as you said earlier, the blue economy is a big thing. The university, the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University, has got an institute along the lake, purely established for purposes of looking into the blue economy, and is one of the places that the president visited sometime last year.
So that's it for Business News tonight. My name is Nina Shaban, wishing you a lovely night. Michelle Ngale will be right back with more.
It's finger licking good while stocks last.
You have all heard the word Betika, but do you know what Betika really means? To Betika is to climb to the top of the world. To Betika is to get promoted to the next level. And to win again, and again, and again. To Betika is to test the limits of speed. And to swing hard at every opportunity. To Betika is to do the impossible. It is possible with Betika.
Welcome to Betika, the home of champions.
Live in the moment, live a little today. What'll happen tomorrow? Who's to say? Life's too short to just be living. Life's a precious gift, so keep believing.
My Club, My Club, My Club! It's day 9 of My Club Festival Nakafu! With exclusive offers, massive discounts, irresistible prizes, big savings, bigger rewards! It's more than loyalty. It's crazy offers every day. Nakafu!
Hapa ni Butterfly Care Center. Na watoto hawa wanahitaji proper improvement kwa dormitories, classroom, kitchen, vyoo, mahali pa kuogea na mahali pa kuchezea. Pamoja tuna nguvu, na ndio maana *570# option 4 kuna probox na 1 million Kenyan shillings. Inamaanisha kila stake ambao unacheza nayo ili kushinda probox au 1 million, part of it inatengwa ili kuimarisha maisha ya watoto wa Butterfly Care Center. Iko na ni mpya na inakufaa na ni *570# option ya 4. Pamoja tuchezi tu, tunasaidia na tunashinda.
Welcome back. Haitian Prime Minister Gary Conille is in the country for a 2-day tour. His visit coming less than a fortnight after President William Ruto visited the Kenyan contingent of police in Haiti. Officers raised concerns about their unpaid allowances. Ruto and Conille are now calling on the international community to honor their financial pledges to support the multinational security mission against the protest of Haitians living in the diaspora, as Bridget Ngana now reports.
Yes. Thank you so much. Welcome home, my friend. Thank you very much.
Haitian Prime Minister Gary Conille is in Nairobi for a 2-day state visit occasioned by the deployment of 400 Kenyan police officers to his country to help quell the gang violence in the Caribbean nation. However, both Nairobi and Port-au-Prince say the victories achieved in the last 3 months risk being lost due to lack of tactical and financial support from the backers of the security mission.
Kenya and Haiti, therefore, stand united in calling on the international community to urgently rally behind this mission. And the operation word here is urgently. We have a window of success that is evident from the operations that have been carried out.
The progress that we're seeing is contingent on us continuing to provide the Haitian people with the relief that is desperately needed. And of course, that will only happen if the many commitments that were made by the international community actually materialize.
So far, Kenya's contingent of police in Haiti has brought the country's Toussaint-Louverture International Airport under government control, secured the General Hospital, and opened up roads linking the capital to other parts of the island nation.
They're involved in patrolling the university hospital and the administrative area, and more important, they're with us up north, working closely with the police force to address the current threat with the gangs.
Since the United States announced Kenya's leadership of the 2,500 force multinational security mission in September 2023, Haitians living in the diaspora have protested the use of African nations to restore calm in Haiti following previous failed missions conducted by Haiti's neighbors.
Is not a UN mission. It's sanctioned by the UN, but it's a US paid mission, which effectively means that the US is paying mercenaries to go to Haiti to establish its military base. And so in fact, the Kenyans are warm bodies for US imperialism.
President William Ruto has, however, defended Kenya's choice to send troops to Haiti, pegging it on the country's history of peacekeeping missions outside the African continent. Haiti has not known peace since the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse in 2021.
Everything is being done to make sure that we minimize casualties of both our security men and civilians, even as we deal with the criminals.
If you're doing the work of US imperialism, to put down Haiti and call that Pan-Africanism, we should question that narrative that Ruto is having. And we see the Kenyan leadership, not Kenyan people, and I have to make that distinction, right? We see the Kenyan leadership as working as overseers on behalf of white power.
Kenya is expected to send another batch of 600 police officers to Haiti in the coming days, bringing the total number of police officers in Port-au-Prince to 1,000. So far, Bahamas, Bangladesh, Barbados, Benin, Chad and Jamaica have also sent their police and military officers for the multinational security support in Port-au-Prince. Bridget's Ghana, NTV.
And that's all we have prepared for you on NTV Weekend Edition tonight. We thank you for watching. David Agondoa is the sign language interpreter. My name is Michelle Ngele Oviambo. But don't go too far. When we come back from this break, we take you to court on news quarters. Dan Mwangi prosecutes Kenya's lack of faith in systems and institutions, the same ones that are meant to make life easier for the Kenyans. Do stay with us. Many thanks for watching and good day.
Ni tikiti moja, lakini ni tikiti inayowafungulia milango iliyofungwa. Milango za huduma kwa wanafunzi kupata elimu na mahitaji ya shule bila mapendeleo. Huduma kwa afya ya jamii na kuwapa imani ya kesho. Kufungua na kuimarisha biashara, ujenzi na kurudisha ustawi kwa maisha ya wasiojiweza. Huduma ya ushindi kwa wote. Na unapobonyeza *570#, sio mchezo tu, ni nguvu.
Doors should not hold out opportunities. Doors are the gateways to progress, the ones that hold ideas, and those that close deals. Let's take those to places where there are none. Let's open big doors that harbor progress. In all the places that we are.
KCB ni yangu.
KCB ni yetu.
KCB is mine.
KCB ni yetu. For people, for better.
Enjoy all-in-one payment solutions for your business with Network. Accept multiple payment methods and process all your business transactions on one device. Whether it's M-Pesa, Airtel Money, Visa, MasterCard, Apple Pay, or Google Pay. Network does it all. It's faster, it's better, it's smarter. Get it for your business today by calling 0730-847-847.
New Downy perfume collection. Sometimes I need a scent to keep me calm amongst the chaos, or a light fragrance that keeps me fresh in the heat, or a perfume that feels elegant all day and into the night, lasting longer than expensive perfumes. New Downy, lavender calm, sunrise fresh, and sweet elegance, freshness that inspires confidence. Your dreams have come true. Try it for only 20 shillings.
You have all heard the word Betika, but do you know what Betika really means? To Betika is to climb to the top of the world. To Betika is to get promoted to the next level. And to win again, and again, and again. To Betika Tubetika is to test the limits of speed and to swing hard at every opportunity. Tubetika is to do the impossible. It is possible with Betika.
Welcome to Betika, the home of champions.
Coffee to both baby and the new Morphix diapers. With its cottony soft texture and 3 times faster absorbent channels, the new Morphix diapers help to prevent thrush. Morphix, comfy like a mom's hug.
Reach your audience instantly and make a lasting impression with Nation Sema. Affordable bulk SMS at 0.3 Kenya shillings. Own sender ID for 10,000 Kenya shillings plus 10,000 free messages. To sign up, please call 0728434979 or email us on mkibunja@ke.nationmedia.com.
My name is Joseph Gugi. At Nation Media Group, I am a commercial manager. My role entails making sure that our consumers are able to access our content, either in print or digital, or in a timely manner. To us, going above and beyond is number one, understanding what the customer needs. And then secondly, we go and make sure that we meet those needs and even go above and make sure that they are excited with our services. We impact society by creating jobs along our value chain. This is to vendors who retail our publications and also transporters. To our customers, we are excited to serve you. We wish you a happy customer service week.
Frustrated Kenyans. This court will hear from people whose first-hand experiences dented their faith in institutions and the system at large. Vox Populi, Vox Dei. The voice of the people is the voice of God. This court will hear from various Kenyans who share their views on the matter before it. Vincent Mahugo is a graduate lawyer, a Gen Z and an activist based at Mathare Social Justice Center. He is vocal on issues surrounding ecological justice and social injustices within the community, especially on issues affecting the youth at large. He will share his views as seen from an activist's lens. Alex Manyasi describes himself as a policy and governance expert with extensive knowledge and experience in Kenya and in various parts of Africa, supporting countries develop better and more progressive policies for service delivery. He gives us an analyst's perspective. This court will hear from various politicians as they share their views on the matter before it, as well as respond to accusations that they are part of the problem.
My lords, ladyships, the Court of Public Interest is in session. News Court. Justice Wanjiko, the people of the Great Republic of Kenya presiding. A country where there are many people who over the years have for one reason or another expressed lack of faith in the system or in institutions, the very ones that are meant to make life easier, more bearable and accountable. Why the skepticism, cynicism or otherwise? We prosecute. We begin by tabling instances where people have been let down or feel let down by the system or institutions. Now, Your Honor, there are those who have been victims of the failures of the transition from the National Hospital Insurance Fund, NHIF, to the Social Health Authority, SHA.
Haijakamilika kabisa, iko na matatizo yake. Sababu kama jana nilikuwa natakiwa kwenda laboratory for the purpose of blood test. Nikaambiwa it is not updated, systems are not updated. Nikarudi nyumbani. Kwa hivyo I don't think that the transition has been smooth.
Mimi sifanyi kazi yote. Na cover ya ilikuwa inasaidia ya NHIF imefungwa. Na tunaambiwa tungoje. Sijui kama tutasaidika ama maisha yetu imeishia hapa. Hivi vitu yote tumelipa NHIF, tumelipa ya mama mpaka hata pesa yake huko. Sijui itasaidia nani sasa, na yeye ameenda. Dada yangu amelipa cover. Yeye ndiye analipa cover kwa sababu anafanya kazi ya serikali, lakini sasa haimsaidii na amelipa cover. So hii kitu itasaidia nini? Nini itatusaidia? Mtu kama mimi, mtu mwenye sina chochote, nini itanisaidia? Kama serikali wangetusaidia watufanyie SHA ikuwe mzuri, ama waturudishie NHIF ikuwe sawa, tungekuwa tunajitibu bila kelele. Hii ugonjwa ya dialysis kweli iko na gharama. Kwa mtu mwenye anaenda dialysis anajua.
Nimeleta mgonjwa wangu hapa, amekujifungua, anapata linda mama imeondolewa, na sina pesa ya kulipa. Sijui nitaanzia hapa, na tulikuwa tumeregister kutumia hiyo linda mama na gavana wetu. Tumejaribu kumove kutoka NHIF kwenda kwa SHA, but hiyo process bado haijakuwa incomplete. Mama amejifungua salama, hali yake iko sawa. Sasa amengoja tu kulipiwa bill na kwenda nyumbani. Wito wangu kwa serikali ni kwamba waturudishie ile nia linda mama, ilikuwa inatusaidia. Sisi watu wa chini hatuna venye tutasaidika bila hiyo linda mama.
Tuliweza kurejistiwa, tukaambiwa tunarejistiwa NHIF na ile linda mama ambayo itaweza kumsaidia wakati anajifungua. Lakini wakati amekuja kujifungua tumeambiwa hiyo vitu zote hazifanyi kazi, na sasa tutahitajika kulipa shilingi 7,400 na shilingi 4. Na tumeambiwa pia kilala inaongezeka na 2,000 kila siku. So tumegwama hapa na hatuna pesa na hatujui tutafanya namna gani. It's either unalipa cash ama mgonjwa aendelee kukaa hapo na ikiendelea kupile. Na hata vitanda wanakaa 3, wamama kama 3, na pesa ni ile wewe unalipa ndio mimi nalipa ndio huyu analipa, na wanasema ni pesa ya kitanda. So tujui kitanda moja inaingiza pesa ya watu 3 ama inafanya namna gani. Wito wangu kwa serikali ni irudishe hiyo kitu, sababu ilikuwa inasaidia sisi kama jamii. Hii mambo ya ukiwa na mjamzito unajua tu ni pesa unalipa kidogo, kama vitu unanunua maybe ya mtoto, alafu unasaidiwa hii mambo ya mke kujifungua. Lakini tena imetukuta tu kwa ile harakati ya haraka, tukukuwa tumejipangia. Unajua kama tungeambiwa imetolewa, tungekuwa na ile muda labda mtu unajipanga. Lakini sasa tumekuja na tukaambiwa iliisha Wednesday saa 6 usiku. So hatujakuwa ready.
Your Honor, we now move to the county of Nandi, where the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union has signed a return to work formula with the county government of Nandi, calling off their 3-day industrial action. And this has been announced in Kapsabet, which is the headquarters of Nandi County. However, a few days ago, there were the concerns around the Nandi County medics at the Kapsabet County Referral Hospital going on strike, citing issues such as poor working conditions and lack of supplies. Their frustrations, coupled with the agony that the sick found themselves in, also speaks to the matter before you, Justice Wanjiko. My Lord's Ladyship, we seek your pardon on that. We shall be getting back to Nandi County if we get that together. But nonetheless, Your Honor, landowners who surrendered their plots for construction of Mama Ngina University in Gatondo in Kiambu County 3 years ago say they are yet to receive compensation amounting to 2.2 billion shillings. Now, these landowners are frustrated, and in their feeling of being defeated, they have asked the government and even specifically the President, William Ruto, to expedite the payments, as they say that out of 188 of them, only 9 were opposed to the acquisition of the land. Justice Wanjiko, the residents had received awards from the National Land Commission in 2021 and have been waiting for a cumulative payout of the 2.2 billion shillings for the 40 acres they ceded for the university.
Watu wengine wanapotosha watu. Wanaambia watu hii university ni ya mtu binafsi. Tunataka kusema leo mchana hii university ni ya serikali. Na hii university iko chini ya Kenyatta University. Na hii university ile kitu tunapigania ni hiyo ardhi ambao wananchi walikubali kupeana. Watu 188 walipeana mashamba yao, wanangoja malipo. Wale watu tu walikataa ni watu 9 peke yake. Na kuna wengine wengi ambao wamezunguka hiyo university, ambao wamejitolea, wamesaini mpaka affidavit, wanataka kupeana mashamba yao kwa serikali, ndio hii university ipate ile kiwango yake ya ekari 50, ndio siku moja nayo iweze kujisimamisha kama Mama Ngina University.
Ningetaka kusema kwambia Bwana Ruto mwenye tulimchagua kwa upendo mwingi sana. Sasa tunataka pesa yetu. Maana tumekaa sana miaka 2 na kitu, ni miaka mingi. Mtu anakaa hivyo hakuna kitu anafanya. Huwezi jenga hata nyumba ya kuku, huwezi hata lima. Unalima tu na woga sababu liambia unahama. Sasa ningependa Ruto asikie maombi yetu. Tunalia sana. Hakuna kitu tunafanya hapa. Tunataka kuondokea wanafunzi ndio wajengewe nyumba waone mahali ya kulala. Sababu wanafunzi wanakuja na hakuna mahali ya kulala. Na sisi tunataka maendeleo.
Justice Wanjiko, those have been experiences of people who have had some situations where they have had their faith in the system challenged, or they question the effectiveness or the favor of the system or institutions at play. And Your Honor, we now table the views of various other Kenyans on why the confidence in institutions and the system at large is low among Kenyans.
A yes and a no. The no is because the people in the system don't respect anything about this institution. If you consider, for instance, the issue of the courts, where we have seen blatant disobedience to court orders. Recent example is the IG, who for some reason, the acting AG, previous acting AG, who for some reason decided not to honor court orders. We remember that the rain started beating us way back in the Uhuru Ruto government, when even the previous government decided that they are going to go blatant on the judiciary and attack them. So do I believe in the institution of and the structure of this government? Yes, I do. But we really pray that the people who have been given the powers will be able to honor the institutions that are established by the constitution of this country.
We have lost faith in our institution or our system in Kenya, and majorly because of corruption. As you understand, there is nowhere in our nation that you can go for any services, and especially the public office, without copying something and so that you may be able to be given attention. The protocol class is the one that has really gotten us to this message, and especially there's what we call the betraying the city, that they have what they promised Kenyans, or during the time they were being voted, they never give exactly what they said. So sometimes they broke promises, and people feel that time and again they will never try to elect such leaders because they break promises when they have been elected. So they come up with money, corrupt the system, the political system, the voters, and they say because they bought votes, they have to, for the first, second years, they have to look for the ways of now getting back their money.
Our institutions are well established, but I think Kenyans, and myself in particular, and the church in particular, we are getting a bit confused because the institutions are full of contradiction attestations, because we don't see due process of the law being followed by our institutions. Like the recent participation, public participation, pertaining the deputy president in his motion to be dethroned or to be moved away from his position, it was not well conducted, and we think that we need a bit to work on our institutions so that we can have faith in them. Lack of services should be contributed to lack of a good culture for non-corrupt working environment.
Once again, corruption comes up, Your Honor. Justice Wanjiko, there are people who are very vocal about this matter, and some who we sought to hear from for further context. Taken to the dock is Vincent Mahugo.
I believe as Kenyans we are entitled by the constitution that we are governed by, that there are social institutions that are supposed to govern us, and we have to have faith in them. Take a case scenario, for example, during the Mandamano or the demonstration, the Gen-Z demonstrations. We had police brutality experience everywhere. We had extrajudicial killings. And this is an arm of government that is supposed to protect its people. But on the other hand, people are losing trust in it because of these things that are happening. There's been inefficiency in how they conduct the activities. And this is just one example of a government institution that shows the lack of confidence in the public. The issue of confidence or public trust is not only limited to government. There are other key stakeholders, institutions that play a big role when it comes to the driving forward of the economy of the country. Take, for example, banks and financial institutions, which play a key role in how we conduct our businesses as Kenyans. So when we find that these institutions are forced to close down or due to maybe corruption or other issues, it happens that the common man is gravely affected. Business does not continue, and this has a big impact when it comes to development as a country. If you take a keen look back to the era of former president, the late Richard Moi, we had the issues of media being controlled by the state. Now, when media is controlled by the state, it means that they only convey what the government intends it to say. It's something that has been there for a long, long time, and I think it's something that is coming out clearly now that people are standing up for themselves and criticizing these kind of activities. And there has been overall improvement all over. Now, institutions play a very big role in how we manage our country. And these institutions are entrusted by the common mwananchi to make sure that their services and their needs are addressed through these institutions. Take, for example, government institutions such as the police, which play a big role in safeguarding protecting the interests of the Kenyan citizens. Now, when such institutions are not looking out for what the common mwananchi intends to be served with, it becomes a systemic issue. Now, if you're not serving the common interest, of course, the public will lose faith in such institutions. To fix our system and to regain the public trust, it goes a long way to various ways we can do this. For example, the biggest scandal we have in the country is the issue of corruption. We also have the issue of accountability of these institutions that are supposed to serve the interests of the common mwananchi. The other issue is about including the people in the agendas that affect them as a whole. Take, for instance, in Mathare, we have community service engagements where you see that people come together to reclaim parks, recourse wasteways, dump areas to convert them to parks so that they can be sustainable for the people living there. Now, this is an initiative that the government is supposed to guarantee, but you see that the people are taking accountability on themselves. Now, the government should come hand in hand and cooperate or support this kind of initiative that seeks that to promote their constitutional mandate that they are supposed to guarantee to the people. It's up to the government to ensure that they align themselves with the people and see that they address the issues that are affecting them in these areas.
This court, Your Honor, will now hear from a governance analyst in seeking to understand why it is the way it is and what should be done to fix it. This court now invites Alex Manyasi to take to the stand. And I begin by asking you this, Alex, why, in your view, do Kenyans express lack of faith in systems and institutions?
The lack of faith in institutions is a bit of an historical issue. And I say that because of, if you look at especially the 24-year rule during Moi, there are a lot of things that may have gone not too well. And therefore, if you look at even the way the clamor for the new constitution, which we currently have, the 2010 constitution, and the many amendments that were done, largely it was because of the inefficiencies within the systems then. And so people felt like things were not running the way they expected. And so they needed to see changes executed. Unfortunately, the changes have been long, complex, and of course led to the very many constitutional amendments, which to a certain point then we even, the constitution that we had, you couldn't have known the original constitution from what now it was as through the amendments. And here we are, 2010 constitution, the same is still persisting. And I guess one other thing that I may mention is that Kenyans are very eager to have better lives. And so I think it also makes people want to push for more. And if you look at the clamor for changes, for better services and everything else, it's within the right. But it's an historical issue more than anything else.
Right, and you bring a good point. And just for the sake of clarity, is this lack of faith only limited to government?
The answer could be yes and no. Of course, because government is the biggest offer of services and through taxpayers' money, then the scrutiny on government will be higher. And so the lack of faith, you will expect that in government will be much higher than in other institutions. In terms of faith in other institutions, we've seen people turn to the media, for example. That's an example of people having faith in what is being said out there. So it's an example of the fact that it's possible for people to have faith in institutions. We've had non-state actors, NGOs and others who have stood in the gap to offer alternative answers or services to citizens. And so people have a bit of faith in that.
All right, now these issues have been alive even through past regimes, not just in the current one. So it's safe to say this is a systemic issue?
Look at the systems or any institution, every time an announcement is made, you find people even wanting to confirm and check whether what is being announced is the correct position. Just by that, I think it's a confirmation that we need to have a bit more faith in the institutions that we have. And then secondly, I think it's more of what I said initially about the history. Because people have had challenges with institutions, even when those institutions have reformed. People have not yet moved to a point where they can actually say that what we are being given is the right share of what we should be getting. And so because of that, you find that people still have challenges, believing that if, for example, it's government that gives out a statement on a certain aspect, then the intention is good. Lastly, I think it's also because of the fact that we've had a few mishaps before, where if, for example, a government institution was to seek to get an amendment to something, for example, and public participation is being done, then the intention of public participation is to get views of people. So when people feel like that has not comprehensively gotten into the outcome or the document, then people start thinking that the public participation was not intended to get views but to tick boxes. Now, for us to move from that to a level where we can start having more unbiased conversations and trust in systems, I think we need also to do more in terms of how the architecture of the institutions that we have.
So in closing, and just as looking for solutions, what needs to be done to fix a situation of, the waning faith in institutions and the system at large?
I guess some of them will include just making sure that the participation of the citizens is taken seriously. Secondly, I think it's more walking the talk. If we say that you're going to offer services, then we offer those services, and when we are unable to, if it's government, if it's unable to, then it needs to explain the circumstances under which it wasn't possible to provide those services. I think there is also need of more transparency in ensuring that people know what is expected of them, so that if you're transiting from one institution to another, if it's a police service, for example, instead of a police officer hiding in a bush where there's no sign of not turning right, then a police officer should actually be visible. I know that there is, for example, a lot of movement that has happened to where police officers should have name tags, for example. There's a time even the courts ruled that for any police officer, even if you're not in uniform, then you need to be tagged. Those are some of the transparency issues that we need to make sure that we implement for citizens to know and realize that it's more of government serving the people and not necessarily looking for cutting corners or making people suffer in the process.
Thank you very much, Alex, for your submissions. Now, Justice Wanjiku, the political class has been accused of being part of the problem and often has a closer view of how things happen. What say they? And our next submissions are by Wanjala Kasera, the MCA of Kanyikela Ward, that's in the county of Homa Bay, Rahim Dawood, MP Imenti North, and Amina Mnyazi, MP Malindi. We once again apologize for that, but we shall be uploading that online, or for News Court terms, we'd say we'd be filing it online. Now, when you see broken fathers, mothers, bros and sisters, look around. I bet you'll see broken systems, broken trust, trashed, dashed hopes, dreams, and much, much more of sins committed since the wicked seized the system. Look at it. You wonder why hope is so lucrative. Congregations swear by false leaders and beliefs, blood money enjoyed by certain corporate chiefs, Wananchi voting people known and renowned for deceit, some who are only free because they destroyed all receipts, knew the buttons and keys they need to hit to delete, but under whose watch many can't beat disease until some succumb, become deceased. The common man feels outside the purview of I love you, looks at institutions and fails to see their value. They battle with how the system sees them. Opportunities are not for them, so they cannot seize them. The bad manners, the who is who, just cannot seize them. In and out of season, some don't dip in and out of reason. They are just out to get their own, and then what? You be the judge. News Court.
This is NTV.
Karibuni. Hii ndio base ya the best local entertainment.
Tell me where my money is.
You don't know what they do to girls like you. Nakwambia mama Chantel amegeuka kwa mtoto siku hizi. Anabadilisha nguo kama mara 3 kwa siku.
Good morning, Peter. We believe in ideas that can change the world.
We are for every dreamer, creator, striver, and believer. At ABSA CIB, we are invested in your story, and we invite you to write it with us because your story matters. ABSA.
You know you're flying with the world's best. Crowned by Skytrax, 15 years in a row. Yep, we've taken over 500 million of you to places. Our crew, they train like champions. Global safety standards, we nailed them. 23 years in counting, all thanks to our dedicated all-stars and you.
You have all heard the word Betika, but do you know what Betika really means? To Betika is to climb to the top of the world. To Betika is to get promoted to the next level and to win again and again and again. To Betika is to test the limits of speed and to swing hard at every opportunity. To Betika is to do the impossible. It is possible with Betika.
Welcome to Betika, the home of champions.
My name is Joseph Gugi. At Nation Media Group, I am a commercial manager. My role entails making sure that our consumers are able to access our content. And then secondly, we go and make sure that we meet those needs and even go above and make sure that they are excited with our services. We impact society by creating jobs along our value chain. This is to vendors who retail our publications and also transporters. To our customers, we are excited to serve you. We wish you a happy customer service week.
This week on Cars with Big Boy Trev, we go all the way to Malaysia to review the Proton X70 SUV. We analyze its cabin comfort, innovative technologies, engine performance, fuel efficiency, and of course, give its value for money proposition against its rivals, the Renault Koleos and the Hyundai Tucson. Catch this and much, much more only on Cars with Big Boy Trev this Sunday at 5 p.m. only on NTV.
Where did you come from?
Come with me. So this is where the magic happens.
This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
Pata taarifa teke teke na e-paper. Stay in the know on the go. Getting the full story bila ngori. To sign up, choose your preferred subscription. Use the promo code SUBZ22 to get 20% off and pay. Get your favorite newspaper and enjoy the truth anywhere, anytime. For inquiries, email epaper@ke.nationmedia.com or call 0790 111 111. Subscribe today and get your taarifa teke teke.
Get ready to tantalize your taste buds and embark on a culinary journey with Pishi Bomba, the ultimate cooking show that brings the flavors of the world right into your living room. Tune in this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. with me, Claire Karatu, for a mouth-watering adventure. Pishi Bomba. Cook, eat, enjoy.
The 21st edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon is here. Register today for just 2,000 shillings at www.nairobimarathon.com.
Kuna mbomu 15 pounds. Nachukua mbomu. Zinakwenda. Nahitaji diaper.
Kimeumana.
39. 40,000 shillings. Namba 3. King Kong. Na 50,000 Kenya
Grand, mega.
NTV, turning on your world.